Red Bull have managed to clinch the fourth consecutive championship in the Drivers' Championship, but the picture in the Constructors is painting another story, primarily because of the underperformance of Perez combined with the drop-off from the RB20's upgrades. Now that Verstappen is no longer the most dominant force in the sport and 2025 presents us with a brand new opportunity for all of the teams and constructors, can we see a new champion on the horizon? And more importantly, how will this affect the lineup in Red Bull? It goes without saying that the Drivers' Championship being set and done for 2024 leaves us with nothing left but the Constructors' battles. However, now that Norris has fumbled his chances and Leclerc has entered into a slump with the SF24 between Canada and Silverstone, all eyes are now set on 2025. We have seen Red Bull also dropping the ball with their upgrades, and Verstappen himself admitted that the title is very sweet for him because he is driven with a car that has been arguably the third fastest for 70% of the season, something that hasn't happened in his career so far. But now that 2025 is going to reset things a bit, Red Bull will face a gruesome reality. They are without Newey, Wheatley and Courtenay, who were with the team from day one, and a mass exodus of engineers has happened within the inner circles of the Milton Keynes based squad. Be that as it may, even Jos Verstappen warned the team that there is a lot that could change in the foreseeable future, stressing the importance of the next year as well as the first year under the new regulations and how that can pave the way for Verstappen to leave the team sooner rather than later. As of now, the focus is on 2025 and winning the fifth championship, because we can arguably see that the pace of the RB20 has significantly dropped since the first 5 races, and it's not a far-fetched scenario to say that it's these 3 races that won the Dutchman the championship with 2 races to spare, as both of those are not going to be favouring the performance of the RB20. What this means is that they'll likely finish 3rd in the Constructors' Championship, and while the cash prize money will be reduced, the time they'll have to spend in the wind tunnel as well as the CFD facilities will be increased, which they hope will turn the tide in a positive way. But as of now, it looks pretty gruesome from their camp. Elaborating further on this extent, Pierre Wash, the technical director of Red Bull, said, "I think we are happy with what we have done quickly. I am not confident for 2025. I am not confident because I think the others are very quick or are there. It will be a fight for the full year. If you have confidence in this business, you are dead. You have to work hard, and everybody has to, in the team, work hard. Everybody is working hard." When you see the number of people we have trying to find a very small amount of performance and add everywhere, it's a very difficult task. I have a lack of confidence because if I have confidence, you go to sleep, you don't go to work, and then you don't find performance. Many can argue that this is the wrong mindset for the 2025 season, because the last thing that you want is to have a lack of confidence despite how poor the results are from the car's performance as well as the driver's input. A massive dent has been left by Sergio Perez, who not only caused over $5 million in repair damage, but he has also cost the team a lot regarding scoring points in the Constructors' Championship. And on top of that, even the future of Verstappen is not secured with Red Bull, as his manager opened up on this question. Vermeulen spoke exclusively to Racing News 365 and, while praising the loyalty of Verstappen to the Austrian team, said, "If he has the material, he will execute his job. But in the end, a lot can happen. You can have a safety car, you can have a crash, you can be unlucky like in Miami with a safety car, so it is good that it is done and dusted. Max is in the peak of his career, so if he has the material, he will deliver. But of course, 2025 will be more competitive. All the teams will be there. The car is at the end of its evolution since it is the last year for the regulations, so everyone will give it a go, even us as well. We will see where the performance is. Max wants to have the best performance package for the moment. We have 4 championships here. We are loyal to Red Bull, but of course, we want to keep going and we need a competitive package." This has been said by Max's father, Jos, as well, who has applied a lot of pressure, not just on the team, but the team principal, Horner. There has been a lot of friction between these two parties, and it has been obvious that Jos is not the greatest fan of Horner and the way that things have developed for his son Max, as he had to battle hard for the 4th championship, unlike the previous 2 years. When talking about it, Jos said that things need to change sooner rather than later. As he elaborated, "At least the team know where the problems are and what needs to be changed. Now it's up to them to show how well they understand and what they are creating. I want to see it first next year. We started this year very well and then it only slipped. It's not up to the team to show how they are going to be next year." And of course, if you would have put any driver in the RB20, there are a handful of drivers who would have won the championship the way Max did. And it looks like this is something that the team is afraid that they're going to lose sooner rather than later. This isn't even about Perez. Last year, Verstappen was able to win the Constructors' Championship on his own, but now that things have changed, the team will need a lot of support from the second driver. And rest assured that while that second driver might not outperform Verstappen, he will give him a hell of a run for his money. And the competitiveness of the team in both of the categories won't be possible because Red Bull do not have the fastest car at the moment. It's fluctuating between 2nd to 4th, and with so many race winners this year, we've seen that so far 2025 is shaping up to be the greatest season that we might have witnessed in the history of the sport. Elaborating further on this, Jos said, "Red Bull are not running the fastest car at the moment, otherwise Max would be winning races. For next year, some things have to happen for them to be competitive again. It also shows again how Max handles it and how strong he is." And now a big question that needs to be answered is who will be the second driver alongside the Dutchman from 2025 onwards, because while Perez is adamant that he will see the end of his contract and will definitely be the one who will decide when his career ends, something that Marco has laughed about and said that Perez cannot be walking around saying that he will be the starting driver next year because that hasn't been fixed yet. The meeting will take place after the last race in Abu Dhabi, and combined with Tsunoda's tyre test as well as the qualifying results of Lawson and Perez, which are 3-1 in favour of the Kiwi driver who scored points in 2 of the 4 races he participated in so far, there are a lot of arguments as to why Perez won't survive from 2025 onwards. When talking about the meeting and how it will affect Red Bull's lineup, Marco went on to say, "We have to have 2 drivers who finish in the points. Max is more than 200 points ahead of Sergio. For our employees, it is a disappointment because they will not receive their bonuses as those depend on our position in the Constructors' Championship, and there's no chance we can win it." There will be a meeting after Abu Dhabi, and the result of this meeting will be presented to the shareholders, and they will then decide what the driver situation for both teams will look like for next year. I don't know the exact gap now, but I think Checo has over 200 points less than Max, and then it's clear that the Constructors' title is no longer possible. If Sergio was anywhere near Hamilton and Russell or Ferrari or even McLaren, then we would be well ahead again. All of this is putting a lot of pressure on Red Bull to change the philosophy of their drivers' lineup, and obviously that is shaping up the future of the team as well, because they do have a lot of young drivers who are eager to prove that they're worthy to be Verstappen's teammate. We have Tsunoda with his statements that he is ready to be teammate with the monster Verstappen, stating that he will keep destroying every teammate that Red Bull send to him because he is the one who is deserving of that seat. And these statements shouldn't be taken for granted. With all this in mind, do you think that Red Bull will endure a massive slump in 2025? And more importantly, do you think that they will see their lineup being changed? Let us know what you think in the comments below.